Hi everyone, so I wanted to get into mesh base and why it's so important and why mesh bases are my preferred way of attaching a hair loss system. Telemesh is a semi-permanent wig system, which means that clients are able to keep it on for up to 8, 10 or 12 weeks depending on their natural hair. 95% of clients that I see have an IntelliMesh because they don't like the idea of taking a wig on and off every day, but they also don't have hair that is strong enough to hold a traditional hair extension. So IntelliMesh is that link between both things. So it's a semi-permanent wig system. There are so many options now for clients, which is incredible, but mesh is my safety net. It's what allows me to create my systems without any damage to my client's hair, and that's because this mesh creates a stable environment for me to attach the wefts to. Just like when you're attaching it to a wig, it's distributed over the whole of the head or probably 3/4 of the head. This is why when I'm teaching, I spend so much time teaching the base application and the mesh being built. I think it's something that's skipped a lot in education, and if that base isn't stable and sturdy, you are not going to have a comfortable, discreet fitting. And this client's hair and all of my clients' hair need to be protected, because no matter what, if they need to stop wearing an integration system, we need to know that we haven't caused any damage to that client's hair and that we can take it off with confidence. The base might look very simple and straightforward, and it is if you keep it really simple, but if you don't stick to some really integral rules, you can cause issues moving forward. One of the things is not overstretching the base, because Telemesh, it doesn't have stretch, which means that you can't really overstretch it anyway, and that's been done on purpose. But with some other meshes, you can overstretch this mesh, and you might think that you're creating a really stable base by making it nice and stuck to the head, but what will happen is that that material will return to its original state, and then it may pull back on itself. What that can do is then pull the locks the wrong way, causing tension. That tension can then become uncomfortable. It can cause alopecia for the client, tension alopecia, and it can just cause bumping within the system as well. Another thing that you need to think about when creating a mesh base is the size of that mesh base and where it actually sits on the head, because where it sits on the head is going to make it stable or unstable. So it needs to sit not on a curve but past the curve of the head. So if you sit it in certain places on the scalp, and I should probably do diagrams of this, and that's what I will actually do in the future. I will do that for everybody. The instability of the weight not being distributed can pull the mesh from one side to the other as the client's wearing it, especially as the hair starts to grow. One of the final things I want to speak about is the amount of locks to mesh. So it's really important that we also have the correct amount of locks in there, and that they are the correct distance and they have the correct amount of hair in there as well. Obviously every client is different, and each client we're dealing with a different amount of hair underneath. That's for another post, but again, it's all about distribution. If you do have any questions about mesh base, just let me know. I love to educate, I love to share. If you are already qualified in mesh integration and you're not looking for a qualification but you do need support, I do have a private group. If you send me a DM, I will send you the link to that. All right, take care, bye.